Oh my god, hey! Welcome back to my kingdom of stagey isolation. If you're seeing my face for the first time, welcome. My name is Mickey Joe and I am obsessed with all things theatre. Hence my Heathers the Musical t-shirt that I hope you can see. I love this top. Quite challenging to explain this one to my parents though. Try and sidestep that conversation where we can. Maybe I'm just really into construction. I'm not. As you may have guessed from the title and the thumbnail for today's video, what I want to talk about today is mistakes I have made on stage in shows, or backstage in shows, or because of shows. Oh, there's so many horrifying stories. If you want a throwback to a few of my onstage mishaps, then here's the recaps. This is going to be incredibly triggering for me because I'm the kind of person who, when I make a mistake, you know, I will hold on to that for 2 to 3 decades. And as I hope you can tell, I'm not yet 30, so, you know, I still feel the weight of responsibility of these. Also, at the time of filming this video, I'm only 100 subscribers away from reaching 3K on YouTube, which is an awesome milestone that seems crazy to me, and I'm super grateful for. And whenever I hit those kind of milestones, I like to let you guys know a little bit more about me as a human. I'm sharing with you today, that's what we're doing. So in the spirit of sharing, feel free to comment your favourite onstage mishaps that you've seen, that you've been responsible for, that other people did in shows that you did, in the comment section down below. What mistakes have you made? And then maybe I will feel better about mine. I've been messaging my friends who I did these shows with, and I don't think I made any mistakes in like my first few musical theatre shows. I think at that point I was just like really learning everything and I wanted to do such a good job that I got everything right and I didn't mess up words and I did my blocking exactly as I was supposed to and no one died, which is always good. And then I think what happens is you get more confident and you become a theatre kid and you're like, oh yeah, I've done shows, and you don't learn it quite as hard and things go wrong. The first show this happened in, I was playing Pippin in the musical Pippin. The mistake I made in this show, it wasn't crazy big, but it was the one performance my family came to see. Saturday matinee? No, not the matinee, not even the matinee. It was the evening. I'm singing Corner of the Sky, maybe the most famous song from the show. And you know, first verse has gone fine. I just come off of gotta find my corner of the sky. I get into the second verse and I literally sing the words, every man has a path, people like the way dreams have of sticking to the soul. Fully blanked the start of that verse. So my blocking for that verse, I had been standing still for the first verse and chorus. I walk over stage right, and I'm gesturing to the audience because it's supposed to be every man has his daydreams, every man has his goals. Like I'm going to pick out individuals like, yes, you sir with the bald head. And I still did that just while saying nothing. I was just like, every man has, every man has, like, right? Relatable, I know. Nothing else went wrong in that show that was my fault. I'm not here to call out other people's mistakes, but there was another one in Pippin. Okay, I say I'm not here to call out other people's mistakes. This, like, I had to improvise here. At the start of the second act of Pippin, I have to wander out on stage and sing a mini reprise of Corner of the Sky and play a little bit of it on a recorder. And then the person who was playing the leading player, who was my friend and an incredibly talented actor, would emerge from behind the audience and say, there you are, I've been looking everywhere for you. And that would start the second act, and then we do On the Right Track. Middle show, middle of the run, I go out, I play the recorder, gotta find my corner. And I look and, you know, he's not there. He's not even on his way. He's not even a little bit on his way. And I'm like, shit. Darn. I'm like, do I walk back off stage? Because I've quietened the audience. I'm the cue out of nowhere. Do I just leave and hope they thought that was a mid-interval treat? I decide to keep going with Corner of the Sky. And what they get, this lucky audience, is basically a full-ass reprise of this song that they've already heard. I'm just there a cappella on stage. I'm like making eyes at my friend who's the MD. Like, do you play? Am I even in the right key? What are we doing with our lives? What's happening now? Eventually, leading player runs out from behind the audience. I'm pretty sure I'm on the second chorus. I think I may as well finish at this point, honestly. He is audibly out of breath. And the audience clearly knows what's happening. And he says the words, there you are, I've been looking everywhere. The audacity of that particular line coming at that particular moment. But we got through it, and again, no one died. At the same time, I was also rehearsing to play Jean Valjean in Les Mis. There's pictures behind me somewhere. There. there. God, I'm obsessed with that show. This show, we spent a year learning it. So not only was I pretty clued up on my material, I'm pretty sure I could now sing you the whole show. Any character, like whatever. I could give you Madame Thénardier, I could give you Bamatabois. I don't want to, but I can. Now, a year learning the score, a day learning how to walk on a turntable. There were a lot of moments, like when you're power walking on a travelator in an airport and you walk off and suddenly you're like, oh, this is the speed of the world. Had that happen a lot of times, because there's this one particular moment where Cassette is like, there's a little I know, I know the words, I just don't like them. And I have to be like, you will learn, truth is given by God to us all in our time, in our turn, which is like, no, sit the hell down. As I say that, I walk off angrily in a huff. The only problem being, I'm in the middle of the stage on the turntable, and as I start to walk off, the gates turn because Maris is about to do In My Life. She has first like the music of into the light of the sun, that bit. And so I'm doing my, no, bad Cassette, sit down and have no friends. And I start to leave and it begins to turn, and I'd always try and make it off before it would start to turn, but it would just start to go. So I like the step that I'm planning to step on is suddenly over there and I'm turning, and I do this angry walk that would suddenly change speed halfway through. And yeah, not a great look. Then Act 2. In the sewers, I come on carrying Marius, who I'm pretty sure wasn't my height at the beginning of the rehearsal period. By the end, he was my height. I had to carry him in various different positions. At one point, it's a fireman's lift. At another point, he's on my back and I'm dragging him. We go to step onto the stage from sort of the back of the stage area, and there's a little bit of a lip. And from where there's been a smoke machine, it's all condensed and formed a puddle. I slip, smash my knee, and he's just like, gets judded obviously. He has no idea what's going on, and I have to continue carrying him around the sewers and like just trying to get off stage at this point. I'm in unspeakable pain. Javert appears to stop me, and Valjean's whole thing literally at that point is he's just so done. There was no acting for me at that moment. It was literally just, get out of my way. I have a child on my back and I'm not happy. Method acting. That, however, is not the worst injury I have ever done as a result of a show. So the next show I did after Les Mis, I did not do, because I was meant to be in the ensemble of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Now, at the same time, another group in the same area was auditioning to do Starlight Express, and I thought, now, you know, wouldn't that be fun? If you don't know, Starlight Express is a musical about trains, and all of the actors perform on roller skates, which, if you weren't sure, is a terrible idea. I did not roller skate as a child, and I find that if you didn't as a child, you haven't really learned to get past the fear of it, and that will make you bad at doing it as an adult. I went to go and practice with my good friend Caroline, seasoned roller skater, and she was sort of practicing with me for like an hour, and then for approximately 20 seconds she left me by myself, and then while she was not watching, she heard the announcer roller skate DJ guy say someone had fallen down, and it was me, because I had just from standing instantly fallen down, put my hand down like this. No. Not my left, my right. Put that one down. The first person to look at it said, nah, it's not broken. You'd know if it was broken. And I was like, I think I know. Like, would I know if I know? Because I feel like I know. Went to A&E. It was broken. Could still do the show. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. They said, yes, you'll be out of plaster by the time it gets to the show. That's fine. My arm comes out of the cast. My broken wrist has healed. This is where you have to question my decisions. Because about a week after this, I try roller skating again. At this point, the auditions are 2 weeks away for Starlight Express, and I'm like, that was just one bad experience. I tried roller skating in the park every day for a week, and on the last day, I decide to try stopping using the stoppers on the front of the roller skates. I then start to fall, get stuck, and fully break my left ankle falling down. I hear it break. And once again, people say to me, it's probably not broken. And I'm like, you know what? No, this time I know. I heard it. Back to A&E. The trauma of it all subsided a little bit when the nurse said to me, I should be able to get around fine on crutches. And I start hysterically laughing, and she looked visibly uncomfortable. She was like, what's the joke? And I said, would that at all be impaired by the fact that I've only recently broken my wrist? And she asked how. And I said, also roller skating. And she sort of paused for a moment and said, I'm going to have to medically ask you to please stop roller skating. And I haven't since. Cut to, I spend that whole summer in a wheelchair because I can't use crutches because I have no strength in my wrist. I am in Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, but I am an offstage vocalist in a wheelchair, just having a great time singing disco songs by the side of the stage. And I'm offstage vocals for Starlight Express as well. I still got to do both shows, just did not actually get on stage. So not an onstage mishap for that one, but certainly a mishap that stopped me being on a stage. I dare you to top that one in the comments section. For the past 4 or 5 years, I've been doing something called the 24-hour musical with the Camberley Theatre. Essentially what it is, you arrive at the theatre at 7:30 on a Friday night, they tell you what the show is, it's a surprise, they've already cast it, you then start rehearsing, you rehearse for 24 hours without sleeping, choreography, costumes, they build a set, you don't have scripts, dialogue, music, all of it, and then 7:30 the next night, 24 hours later, you do the damn show. As you would expect, mistakes happen, which is kind of the point of a 24-hour musical. I feel like the audience would be very disappointed if there weren't mistakes. I'm going to talk you through it year by year. Year 1 is Guys and Dolls. There are some questionable lyrics. I managed to keep all of mine together. I am playing Benny South Street. Not Nicely Nicely, but the other guy. I'm picking Valentine, cause in the morning line, the guy has got him figured at 5 to 9. That guy. And like I said, nothing really went wrong for me in that show until we get to the Crapshoot Ballet, which is a whole elaborate dance sequence in the second act of Guys and Dolls where they're gambling and, you know, there's ballet, as you'd expect. And there's this one move that's a pivot step, where we go like forwards, up, back. And as I'm turning back, I see no one else is doing the pivot step. Everyone else is doing a different piece of choreography. Some people are just standing and laughing about how far this number has got away from us because no one knows what they are doing. And rather than completing the pivot step in a dramatic forwards, I, having turned to the back, just sort of slowly pan around and come back to the front again, having gone 360 degrees, like, do I keep going with this step no one else is doing? Because I don't even know if I'm in the right place. The highlight of this is at one point, everyone is supposed to roll and say, craps! No one's possibly going to do this in the right place, so I decide better just not to yell it when I think it should come. My friend Louise, behind me, bless her, misses this memo. And so, as everyone is doing completely different things on stage and the audience is in hysterics that we're just clearly in such chaos, but Louise behind me just yells out of nowhere, craps! And so, discernibly, what the audience sees is us doing completely different things and one ensemble member just yelling craps, which I don't need to tell you, sounds like something else. Highlight of my life was that number. Nothing will ever be as much of a disaster on stage as the Crapshoot Ballet in Guys and Dolls at the 24-hour musical. 4th year, Wizard of Oz, and I'm playing the Scarecrow. Lots to remember, lots of lines. When in doubt, just, oh, it's the Emerald City, follow the yellow brick road. Do you need something from the wizard? Every single line is some variation of that. This was a great cast, and we had a real dog playing Toto. But as we got further into the show, he got a little bit overstimulated, and he had to leave. Now, given that the main 4 of us, Dorothy, Scarecrow, Tin Man, Lion, don't really leave the stage much, there wasn't much of an opportunity to tell us that the dog was gone. Also, they'd planned for the dog, so there's no, like, dog sound effect. So when we are trying to free Dorothy from the witch's castle, we're walking on stage, and the only way of us getting forwards in the plot is hearing Toto and saying, oh, that's Toto. Maybe he can lead us to Dorothy. I'm realizing there's no dog, and there's no sound effect. So we are just standing here waiting for nothing to happen. So as we're all standing looking around, and I can feel the other 2 trying to remember what it is that's meant to happen next, my brain's already there. You're the audience, this is me. Woof! In the hopes they won't be able to tell, I am woofing with my head turned. And then I come back and I'm waiting for the lion to say, oh, that's Toto. He'll lead us to Dorothy. Instead, what I get is, was that Toto? Which, because it's a question, required a second bark for clarification. I turn back around again and go, woof! Eventually we get where we need to be. Again, we got through it. We made the best of the situation. I've witnessed a great many mistakes on stage. Like I said, I'm not here to call out other people, but I do find them very funny. So please, please, please comment with your favourite onstage mishaps, the best mistakes you've ever made on stage. We're all human. Everything happens for a reason. This is a safe space. Let me know in the comment section down below so we can all laugh and heal together. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel where there's plenty more Stagey content coming soon and all of the videos that I've already made. Also, feel free to share this video with your friends because like I said, I'm very close to 3,000 subscribers on here and that would be super exciting. I hope that everyone is staying safe and that you have a Stagey day. Also, do not roller skate without adequate safety equipment and parental supervision. Or just don't, if you can help it. Just don't do it at all. My PSA for the day. For 10 more seconds, I'm Mickey Joe Theatre. Oh my god, hey. Thanks for watching, have a Stagey day. Subscribe!